YouTube is a game of strategy. Every big YouTube channel has one. But just because they're big doesn't mean that their strategy will work for you. Therefore, in this video, I'll help you figure out a strategy built around you by following some key principles. Principle number 1, find your North Star. Making a YouTube video without a clear goal will just derail the entire video. Think about it like this. Let's say you're out shopping in the grocery store and all you wanted to buy was some milk and eggs. But as you go around the grocery store, you're walking through the aisles, you start picking up things here and there, and what happens? By the end of it, your shopping cart is filled with stuff that aren't just milk and eggs. You got derailed. The moment you have an idea for a video, clearly define the goal of that video, who it's meant for, aka your audience, and what that audience is supposed to be getting out of that video. Remember this, no compass, no crowd. On to principle number 2, aim for what you can reach. More often than not, we scrap a video idea not because the idea necessarily sucks, but because we just don't have the ability to make that video in the way that we envision it. So I remember back when I was a kid, I really enjoyed art classes, and I also liked the art tests because it gave me the freedom to just make whatever I wanted. But I also remember being a bit disappointed with my results sometimes because I was unable to make the things that I had in my head. Now, as I got older now, I realized the issue was, sorry about that, I realized the issue was that there was this disconnection between what I had in mind and my actual skill level. Now, I'm not saying that you should scrap all your ambitious video ideas. On the contrary, you should save them. But what I am saying is that you need to be a bit picky with the video ideas that you want to commit to right now. If that video is going to take you longer than a week of hard, dedicated work to finish, save it for later. Right now, you should just focus on making videos that you can make within a reasonable amount of time. Remember this, skill first, scale later. So on to point number 3, imitate and iterate. This is going to sound harsh, but the reality is that you do not have a style yet. So just copy someone else's. Now, think of it like this. Let's say you want to learn cooking, or maybe you want to learn a new recipe. So what do? You follow that recipe to the letter. And then you keep doing that until you get really comfortable with that recipe. And then, once you're really comfortable with the recipe, you start experimenting here and there. Another way to look at it is, if you've ever seen those really high-level calisthenic pull-up videos where they do so many crazy tricks on the bars, the only reason they're able to do so many variations and tricks with pull-ups is because their basic pull-up is super solid. That foundation is just rock solid. That's why they're able to create variations and be creative on that foundation. The point here is, don't worry about being original. Focus on being good. And the easiest and fastest way to be good is to copy the greats. So what you should do is go back to all the YouTubers that you like in your niche, or the videos in that niche that you like that have done super well. Use those as examples. Note down key points about their videos that stood out to you and try to imitate it bit by bit by bit. You don't have to try to imitate everything at the same time. Maybe you can just try and imitate the transition style, or the cinematography, maybe the color grading, or even just the points that they talk about. practice, practice, practice. You don't need a new idea. What you need is a lot of reps on a good one. Now, principle number 4. Videos build a channel, but a niche builds a brand. You've probably heard this advice before, that when you want to be a YouTuber, find your niche. But as good as that advice is, I do find it that it causes some small channels to be limited on the videos that they think they can do. Therefore, to give an example, now I don't know anything about cameras, okay? But let's say I want to do a channel that reviewed cameras. What are my options? I could review the cameras that I personally own, if I did own any. But then what then? Do I go and buy more cameras so that I can do more reviews? Do I go out to my friends and borrow their cameras and do reviews on that? No. It's just not sustainable. And if you can't sustain the types of videos that you're doing, you can't sustain a channel. So what can you do? Well, instead of focusing on the word niche, rather what you should do is focus on a theme, a focal point. Now, this ties in back to my earlier point number 1 about skill first, scale later. Make the type of videos that you can make easily around the topic that you like. Let's say if all you can do is talking head videos right now, then get really, really good at making talking head videos and make talking head videos around the topic that you like. Remember, format first, niche second, and finally, the final principle, principle number 5, and arguably the most important principle out of all of this, is that your videos should give value. Every single good video you've watched, every single big video that's gone really big on YouTube, have one thing in common, and that is they give value to the viewer. For example, this device that you're watching this video on right now. Why do you get this one over the other competition? The other competition probably had ones that did the same thing that you wanted it to do, but at a cheaper price, or maybe faster, better build quality, or maybe they were just newer. Yet you still chose this one. Why? Because it gave you the value that you were looking for. So reframe your thinking and think of every YouTube video as its own standalone product. And for a product to be successful, it has to provide value. It's also why tutorial videos and review videos always do so well on YouTube regardless of time, because their value is always there, regardless. But that value can be anything. It could be in the form of entertainment, how-tos, information, opinions, anything, literally anything. Even unboxing Pokemon cards gives value to Pokemon fans. Remember that principle from number 1 that I was talking about, finding your North Star? This ties right into it. If you know the purpose of your video, you'll know your audience, you'll know what you're supposed to be providing for the audience, and you'll know what you want your audience to come back with after watching that video. And if you can do this for every single video that you make, I promise you, guarantee you, that your channel will grow. Remember, views follow value. Always. Every single time. Now, all that's left is for you to take these key principles and structure your YouTube strategy around them. As long as you can get that right, you and your channel will grow considerably. Now, if you just so happen to forget any of these principles, you can always just bookmark this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're at it. And don't forget about your YouTube channel settings. They're pretty important.